By the way, he says he you know, every time he says he's wired.
What?
There's no Ethernet cable here.
Are you serious?
There's one connecting the modem to the router, but there's no.
So he's not. He's not jacked in.
No, there's not even an Ethernet cable. It's so confusing.
Oh my god. Are you fucking serious
I'm not kidding.
now, dude?
I swear to God, like I have looked, because I had to do Sacred in here, and I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, so he's just straight up on Wi-Fi, and he's wondering why he has issues every once in a while.
Yeah.
I guess.
So
cool.
Oh, by the way, like
sick.
So welcome to the Snark Tank, where I'm I'm broadcasting from Sweeney's abode. Sweeney is sick now. He left for Vegas last week, and now he's sick. So chances are he's dead.
He got COVID now, because I got COVID in Vegas from the gross Vegas locals. Yep. And that means I'm good, I whooped that shit. I whooped that shit's ass quick.
That means I got it. So we'll see.
Probably.
Yeah, in all likelihood.
But hey, like it was interesting because my lady, she didn't get sick at all, and we're in the same room, so it is an anomaly. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I heard something that like if you have allergy onset asthma, it doesn't affect you. Like you can't catch it, which is insane. Because like I think Justin Wang said that, and I was thinking back to like all the times that I thought I for sure had COVID or was around people who had COVID and just didn't get it. Because I do have that. Like I have allergy onset asthma. Like it's been a while since it's been a problem because I don't run or move anymore. But I was thinking about it. It's like, that would explain a lot. Also, since I'm here, I thought I'd take it upon myself to kind of solve some mysteries that I'm sure some podcast listeners or podcast viewers specifically might be curious about. Like, why the fuck doesn't Sweeney close his bathroom door? Why is his toilet always in view? It's very it's very fucking bizarre. And this is going to be exclusively for the video podcast, but it's going to be worth it, I promise. Look at this shit.
Here we go. We're getting a nice tour of the Oh my god. Oh, okay. Now we all understand why he doesn't close the fucking door. God damn. God fucking.
This man lives in a fucking Lego house.
Oh my god.
For those of you who couldn't see that, believe me, check out the video, because there's no way for me to explain it in a way that does it justice. His door is just a piece of wood that is just not.
Why is it like that? And why doesn't it have at least a circle that is carved into it to easily, like for leverage to slide?
I wish to God I understood. Like I don't know. This place is insane. It is sincerely very hot in here. Like actually, like every time he's ever complained about that, it is like the second I sat down to even set up, it was already like I'm sweating. But he also has his setup in front of the window in California. So the sun is just cooking him as he sits here.
Right.
So of course. Anyway.
That's cool. And does he not blast the AC or anything? Or
he doesn't have an AC. There is no AC.
There's no AC?
There's an AC in the living room. It's a very similar situation to like a lot of apartments where like there's an AC in the main place, but in the rooms it's just like a fan. But in this case there is no fan. So it's just a box.
Can't do that anymore, man. That's just barbaric to me now. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Especially living out here in the desert where everything's so insulated and essential air that you forget that you live in the desert. Yeah. You fucking forget. Like I'm inside 70-something degrees chilling, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's fucking 115 outside. And my skin's on fire. I forget.
Dude, Nevada scares me, the temperature of it. Like, I don't even understand how it's possible. Like, it seems like a place that you could only visit. You know, like Antarctica. where like, how the fuck do you survive there? Like, and I guess it's like, yeah, when I was thinking about it, when I went to Vegas, no place that I ever went felt as hot as even remotely as hot as outside. Like even it was never hot indoors ever, despite the fact that you are on basically Mars. And it's because they need to, or else they'll fucking die. My phone exploded in Vegas because it was like 117 degrees. So like normal people don't stand a chance in that fucking heat.
It's weird. It's weird. I always tell people that you're only gonna spend minutes at a time outside, if that, because you're gonna be, say you work at a job, you're gonna be in your office. You go to a store, you're gonna be in there the entire time. It's really just the walk to and from your car. That death, if you can handle that, you'll be okay. Some people can't handle that, and bro, let me tell you, there are some people like I don't want to turn into some weirdo with a gun that wants to blow people away, but I have seen multiple times already midday people walking their dogs outside.
That's crazy.
And I'm like,
that's crazy in Los Angeles where it's not where it's not 115 degrees.
Dude, it's mind-boggling, and the fucked up thing about the dogs, they're so excited to be outside that they'll just take it, they'll take the pain. And I'm like, I want to, like, I'm trying so hard not to turn into that person, because I'm like, I want to, I had my whole rant about guns before. I'm I would get rid of them and blah, blah, blah. And this, I'm like, dude, I'm turning into a patriot. I'm Quaker fucking outfit on.
Oh, of
I'm
course.
like, I'll get a musket and blow these motherfuckers away, dude, and be like, Second Amendment. Like,
they're melting their fucking. They're melting their dog. Like every dog in Vegas, their paw prints are just a flat circle because their hands have just melted into this fucking frying pan looking thing. Like, it's so sad. I get annoyed seeing that, like, again, in places that are not nearly as fucking sweltering as Vegas. So like, just
right.
Oh my god, everybody who does that should be drawn and quartered by dogs. They should have like
by dogs.
They should have like almost like what's the Iditarod, like the fucking the snow dogs who pull the sleigh, pull the what the fuck is it? It's not sleigh, but it is also like fucking whatever. Just a bunch of dogs tied to each limb run in separate directions and just like torn apart like one of those art mannequins that people use for posing.
I wouldn't mind that even a little bit. Like I no mercy for those people 100%. Yeah. Like there's only sometimes I don't like say something because you can tell those people are psychotic. And you're like, all right, it's not worth getting killed over, shot over. This man, their dog's probably been
this man has that sniper glint in his eye. Like every time he looks at you, you get that fucking big glare that lets you know you're gonna die soon. You don't want to deal with those people.
Yeah, fuck no.
But
yeah, also I want to say sorry for the last episode and to the patrons. Like shit got weird. I got sick.
Yeah, everything that could have possibly went wrong. We had internet problems where me and Sweeney kept disconnecting from the same call. Then when we just had to abandon the episode like middle of the way through, it's like, we'll record it later. And then Sweeney left to Vegas. And then I had to record it, and then I uploaded it to the wrong drive. We all fucked up, like and now Sweeney's sick. So like, he's probably dead. He's probably a permanent loser on this podcast. He's not going to come back.
Yeah.
we could do the next episode live at his funeral.
Hell yeah, dude. Just fucking slap his corpse. Just kind of abuse him a little bit.
We could do that.
I'm sure he'll have open casket.
Yeah. And we could do that thing. We do that thing where we we do the make him speak, puppet him.
We should get him a casket that's like 5 foot in length, and then we have to
fold him in,
stuff him in there. Yeah,
that's so barbaric. That's like one of the most barbaric things I've ever heard, and it doesn't hurt anyone. It's like just a dead body, but just the idea of like, I feel like what the fuck movie was that? It was some show or like something that I saw once. It was in Castlevania as well, where he like shoves Trevor like shoves some dude in a barrel and he like bends his leg down to fucking.
Oh, right, yeah.
But like I swear to God, I've seen that shit in other things, and it like fucks me up. It's so gross. But but yeah, fucking man, a lot. And you know what's funny about this, by the way? Like when we recorded that last week's episode, the first time we sat to record it, when I was outside and Sweeney was inside, we were doing a little gimmicky little show. We explicitly said nothing happened this week, but I bet tomorrow something's going to happen. And of course, like the next day, Roe v. Wade got overturned and the fucking world ignited. And of course, because we're cursed. Like it's such a cursed. Not only was the episode late, but like it was already like what a double fucking whammy on that. But so that did happen. Lots of interesting people have taken to the internet to voice very confusing opinions. I think there's this one lady specifically that caught my eye. This Lauren Boebert person who I think, I'm not saying this is a fact, but I'm convinced that I heard some story at some point recently that she used to be like an escort, and now she's like a conservative kind of talking head.
Unconfirmed, but yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that too. I have heard that.
Don't take
it as fact. I saw some interesting pictures. I will say this before you go any further. I saw some pictures that now, because this isn't proof, there were some pictures of her on this website called Explore Talent. Now, Explore Talent, anybody who tried to be an actor is aware of Explore Talent, because Explore Talent is this shitty fucking website that even possibly me might have a profile still on there from when I used to do background acting back in the day. It might still be there. I don't know if I nuked it or not. I don't remember. But like pretty much anyone who was involved with central casting or any of that dumb bullshit that you would go to Burbank or you'd go somewhere in New York and there was like those two fucking main places. So she was involved with some shit, but she also had some other weird stuff going on, which I wouldn't doubt it, because all of these people always get caught doing something silly.
Yeah.
You know, they always
it's like the anti-gay politicians who like gobble cock in secret. Stealth gays.
Lap it up.
It's the stealth gays, the metal queer solids who just like fucking just sit who just sit in the it's like, "Oh, I don't suck dick," and then they fucking go into that bathroom with the fucked door. And just do all sorts of shit.
Sucking on some solid snakes, man.
Yeah, and also there's also by the way, there's also, and I say this explicitly because I want to distinguish between principle and just people pushing for shit that is just their team. There are a lot of Republican officials who have absolutely paid for abortions under the table. This is absolutely a thing.
Of course.
So, you know, when you're listening to politicians specifically, don't fucking... you gotta be aware of that shit, you know? That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I feel like that's like rule number one for like politicians, that even the ones you like are probably bullshitting about something, because it's just all about, you know, the narrative.
Yeah.
I don't know who this lady is. I can't remember her name. But she's against like the trans panic, the drag grooming narrative stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And she on her Instagram. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Who?
Do you know what I'm talking about? This girl,
Bobber?
Not. I don't think it's the same person. It's somebody that's probably very similar, but someone was like, oh, going to drag shows and saying this is how I do my makeup and stuff, and then it turns out this person now is all against it, all like, oh, that stuff's spooky, we need to do something about it. It's like one of those things. It's like it's always that. It's like Jordan Peterson. Did you see that? Did you see that picture of him?
No, what?
That picture of Jordan Peterson in drag, or like his he's not in a suit. He's not. It's just his makeup. He's in drag makeup.
Oh,
his daughter made him all glamour. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of showing the evolution of these people, where they didn't have a problem with this stuff before, and then now that it's like hot, it's like a hot topic, it's like hot take it shit. All of a sudden now it's like, this is the worst shit ever.
Well, the thing too is like, I will say the internet makes it very easy, because like the internet highlights like literally the worst people. Like when you think about when you think about even just something like abortion, which, like, I don't know, like, I'm pro-choice. I think that's pretty fucking, that's been clear. Like, I've never lied about that. I've been pretty consistent about that. But, like, every time you see people, like, arguing on the internet about pro-choice stuff, it's usually, like, every now and again you'll see, like, one picture of some girl who's like, I've had 31 abortions and I love it. And it's like, that's not the overwhelming majority of people. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? It's like, it's the worst type of person to then just exist, and then it's like, oh, that's everybody. And I think that exists for, like, every single possible stance that anybody can have. Like, even the drag show stuff. Like, I've been to a few drag shows, and they're really fucking mundane and tame. And also just the idea of, like, drag in general is not new or surprising. Fucking Bugs Bunny has spent the last, like, 60 years in drag, and he was on he's a children's icon, you know?
And kissing dudes, like, literally, repeatedly.
Yeah, literally fucking, but, like, even just, like, Mrs. Doubtfire and shit, like, this, like, Eddie Murphy, and, like, this isn't, like, drag is not, I mean, that's not exactly drag. I know drag is, like, specific drag culture is its own thing, but, like, the idea of, like, that type of entertainment is not, like, brand new Satanist propaganda. It's not like, it's not new wokeism or whatever the fuck people are saying. But but like, every now and again I'll see somebody who's like, oh, these drag shows are fucked, and then it's like the worst possible one, you know, the worst conceivable version of a drag show that happens, like, maybe like I don't know, like 1 to 2% of the time. Or, like, some, like, random naked bald man in the street twerking in front of, like, a, you know, like it's just, it's literally the worst people who, by the way, I have never seen. Like, I've been to these things, I've walked past them, I'm a city person, like, I've existed in cities for a long fucking time, I've seen a lot of things, most of them on the subway, but, you know, this is not the overwhelming majority of people who think drag shows are fine. You know, I just feel like everybody's just, like, sucked into these extremes by, like, the worst possible caricature of something that does exist, but doesn't really speak.
It doesn't represent anything.
No, yeah, it's like people get frustrated when I talk about, like, pro-life people, because it's like, oh, and by the way, I've never said, I'm not gonna get into that, but, like, whenever I bring up pro-life stuff, like, it's like, oh, you just think we're all religious nut jobs or whatever. It's like, no, I think some of you genuinely believe that life begins at a certain point, and you think that killing, you do genuinely believe that that's killing a baby. And I do think that it makes sense that you would be angry about that. Like, that makes sense to me, if you believe that. I personally can't understand how you think that, just because it's you don't have a fetus, you know, you have a baby. Like, you don't go, hey, come see the fetus. You don't have a fetus shower. Like, that's you very clearly, like, otherize a fetus before it's a baby. Even as a pro-life person, you're just like, that's not a fucking baby yet. Yes, just like my cum isn't a baby yet.
Right.
You know, it's like,
yeah, I don't understand the people who think that without religion. That's the one that confuses me.
That is confusing.
I understand the religious people, even though, and I've pointed this out on Twitter, and of course people get upset about this, but it's just a very true thing. I used to be a religious person as a kid. I didn't understand most of what I was being taught.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so wacky. I remember fully just being off board. I still consider myself a Christian around 10, 11 years old, but I remember just being kind of totally off board when it was time to dunk on Harry Potter. The first Harry Potter movie was coming out.
Oh, my God.
And they were just
Did you go to a church?
This shit's the devil. And I was like, I can't listen to this shit anymore.
Wait. You went to a church? You went to an anti-Harry Potter church?
So I went to a Southern Baptist church. I only went to church when I'd go visit my grandma. And they're all Southern Baptists. And those churches hilarious. My friends would always beg me to take them, but I'm like, no, you're going to be too disrespectful, because it's just funny. These motherfuckers, they fucking do circle pits harder than a punk show. Like, some of their music's faster. They're fucking, and the pastor, it's funny the way, you know how they all praise the Lord. We're gonna do this. And it's funny to me. Like, it's not like when I hear the way that he's speaking, or the way that they speak, like I try not to laugh.
It's amusing.
So as a kid,
it is amusing delivery. Like they have to know that, and I think they do know that on some level. They do know it. It's like it's fun for people to be involved in that.
Yeah,
because I went to a Catholic church, and my fucking God, like I can't even explain to you how if you don't want your kids to be religious, just take them to Catholic church. Like it is the most miserable, boring fucking experience. Just like, and so Jesus wept, and then they let's join me in prayer, and then they like, Amen, Amen, and it's like these fucking. It's terrifying, honestly. Like in retrospect, when I think about it, I'm like, fuck me, dude. I'm glad we stopped going when my parents just got too lazy to drive. But
maybe that would have gotten me to believe longer.
Do you think
because only because of the theatrics of the shit that I was doing. Because I went to a few my mom's partner, my mom's partner's sister, I don't know what I would call that, but we would go to her church. She went to a Calvary Chapel. Now that's just white church. That's Ned Flanders' church.
Yeah.
And so they would just sing acoustic, open your eyes to my heart, Lord, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
they would just sing songs like that all day, and it was like the most milquetoast. One time, they brought in a rap group called the Eternal Tribe, and it was just all like they would just steal people's beats, and then like just be like, "Are you G'd up? Like, are you got to be G'd up? And, like, you got to be godded up, I guess." And it was.
How does that work exactly? Like, so if you're a church rap group, do you make money? Does the church pay you?
I guess they have to. They probably give them money for those gigs.
Yeah,
and I may still have their demo on a cassette tape.
Oh my God.
Because this was far enough away to where cassette tapes were still being used.
You have to find that. I have a machine that digitizes cassette tapes.
I finally bought one of those motherfuckers, and I have not converted anything yet.
It's
just
cool.
Been sitting around.
I learned how to do that in college because like when I went to film school, we were still editing on tape. By the way, this was 2011. But
it's awesome.
But like we learned how to we recorded on JVC camcorders, like big ass fucking JVC camcorders that you had to hold with two hands, and there was like a tape that you would slide in, and then you would take the tape and like record it onto a fucking file. It's insane. But that if you could find that demo, that would be amazing.
I know where most of my tapes are. It's the only purple tape that I own, so it would be very easy to fucking find. And this was fascinating, going to different churches and seeing the different perspectives groups and point of views. Yeah, and a God rap group that was just, I'm like, I know all of these beats. These aren't your guys' songs. Like,
why are you singing about Jesus on The Chronic? Like, what the fuck?
Basically, it was basically like that.
Dude, this is a very huge aside, but I saw this video on TikTok that I feel like I have to talk about. Because us talking about really, really, like, goofy church music and specifically church rap got me thinking about this. Do you know this guy? I think it's like his name is Jack Novak or something. He's on TikTok, and he made this video, this song called "I Want to Be the Next SNL Cast Member." Have you seen this?
No.
I wish I thought about it. I wish I sent it to you beforehand because it's fucking. We can't talk about it now if you haven't seen it, but like it is. Look up "I Want to Be the Next SNL Cast Member." I have never seen a more cringe-inducing thing. It's like if Hamilton was profoundly white. Like it is whiter than Weird Al. It is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen because he's just like,
so this is like unironic. It's
unironic. It's a dude who's like, I'm on TikTok and he's like, what did he say? I want to be the next SNL cast member, and here's why I should be a contender. Hey there, Lorne Michaels. And he just does like it's like this song, but it's like it's shit, and he's just making all these like horrific, and he's like, I know the heat's on, and I know you're feeling it, but I've been making TikToks, and with comedy songs, I've been killing it. And like, but it's it's so bad. It is so bad. Like, it's one of the reasons why I can't do. I've been trying to do TikTok while I've been in Los Angeles because I can't really do YouTube stuff as much. Not in full anyway. I can't like edit and film and write out here and put something out. So I've just been like making TikToks, and like I've been spending a lot of time on the app, and it's just, I don't know what the fuck that app is, man. Like it's
I try, dude. Yeah? I try with that app. It just doesn't work for me.
What you do music stuff on it though, right?
So I'll post clips trying to promote my music on there, but mostly I'll post like funny shit. I'll edit something real quick that I stumble upon, or I have like an old library of stuff that is just, this isn't on TikTok. This is stuff that I've discovered so long ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And for example, there was one of this Mexican dude crying, drinking a beer in the rain. And then he just screams "Gaviota!" like he's listening to Vicente Fernandez. He's just so sad, he just broke up with his girl or whatever. And it's like a really funny clip of this just being over dramatic. It's like a real clip. It's like a real. I personally know Mexican, my friends, like siblings that do shit like that. Yeah. They get all up in their feelings and listen to Vicente Fernandez and just fucking drink themselves and start crying and shit. And I posted it on Instagram, went over well. I posted it on. I posted it on TikTok. I can't even remember how absurd what it got banned for. It was something. Let's see. Ah, damn it! I finally deleted it. Never mind. It was like hateful. It was like some hateful. There was nothing hateful about it. There was nothing. Every time I try to post something that like does well on Instagram, for example, it just gets flagged for something.
Yeah. My favorite things that I've made on TikTok all are like age gated, or like there's like some community guidelines thing where like I just like, and they were just like, oh, you can't say kill, which is why, by the way, a lot of people say unalive on TikTok, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. It reminded me of like, it reminded me of years ago when I would watch like. Back when I was like, I would tune into like certain people. Like I'd be like, oh, what's the quartering doing? And I'd be like, what the fuck is he doing? And I'd check out, and he'd be reading an article about like some fucked heinous shit, and he'd be like, well, it looks like this person was force sleep kissed. Or something. It'd be, you know what I mean? It would be like some terrible way to censor like the R word or like anything else. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Unalive?
Yeah, that one's. It sounds so stupid. It sounds so dumb.
It's just say kill. Kill isn't even like a bad word. Like you kill the lights. You know?
Yeah.
Fucking.
It's not that bad. It's fucking FCC shit, man. It's like. They didn't want you to say that in kid shows, so instead they would want you to say destroy.
Destroy, yeah.
Which destroy is technically worse.
Oh yeah, technically.
Like if you destroyed something versus killing it.
Yeah, if there was
you like really decimated.
Yeah, like if you think of like, oh, what happened in that school? Oh, mass destruction. Like that's not exactly like that's kind of awful. To destroy. I love that though. Like especially in like the 90s, like SpiderMan the animated series, which I've just been on a kick lately, just because it's that clip of that clip of Kingpin. There's a clip of Kingpin trying to climb a ladder, and he just makes this horrific noise. I think we talked about it, but I think that episode got fucked.
No,
so we didn't.
We talked about it, and and not the last episode, not 114. 114. I didn't even put in the intro. I literally. Clip. The intro to the podcast is that fucking clip.
Did anyone say anything? Like, why does it start that way? We should start it that way.
Somebody mentioned something on Twitter.
You know what? The theme song's done. That's our
just start to.
Yeah, that's our theme from now on. It's gonna be like a clip of Kingpin orgasming on the ladder.
I am 1,000% on board.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even fucking joking. That is my favorite thing I have seen in years. I gotta tell you, man, and I know we briefly talked about this before. I am shocked I never noticed this. I have seen this series multiple times. No. I remember when it go ahead.
No, me too. I don't remember this at all. Like but it's so weird because it's so objectively funny that like I find it so difficult to believe that I could have sat through this show before and not thought it was funny. But then you know what I was thinking of, and this is kind of interesting, where like the context that we saw that show in, like all the way through, was like the last time. When was the last time you saw that show? Like all the way through, you know what I mean?
All the way through, I think it was 2012, because it ended up on Netflix, and then I watched it. So it's been a while.
But that was like one run through, and then before that, it was probably like in the fucking early 2000s or like the 90s. So like the context, and this is kind of interesting because I was thinking about it. The context of finding something funny during that time, well, you couldn't just watch it again. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't be like, oh, that was hilarious. Let me Google that real quick, or like watch that YouTube clip because it was hilarious. True. And then just repeat it just so you could really hammer in how funny it was. You couldn't like send it to your friends instantly and then get their immediate reaction to like how stupid. So like I feel like it was funny, but we were just like, oh, that's funny, and then we didn't think about doing anything with it because we couldn't.
Yeah, right.
I feel like that's genuinely, because now when I see something funny, now I save it, I send it to like a ton of people, I'll tweet it out or something, I'll watch it like a million times until it's not funny anymore. But that shit is still fucking hilarious.
It's so good. As a matter of fact, when I posted that clip on Twitter, somebody replied with a video, like it's essentially a YouTube poop that I'd never seen before. It's called Kingpin's Origin, but everything is a product of his weight.
Oh yeah.
So fucking good. It's so good. He's like, I tried to gain weight, I failed because of my weight.
That video is so good. Spider-Man the animated series is a golden gift, man. Unironically,
it's
like
amazing.
Sincerely, because it's funny, but it's also sincerely good. Like I mean, the ending's a bit, that last arc with like all those like heroes from the 40s or whatever. That kind of sucks.
Bro, I still argue that the show didn't end because
it's not over.
It didn't fucking solve what happened to Mary Jane.
Did the X-Men 90s show get a finale?
I don't know. And that's another series that I've seen enough, but now I need to watch it again as a full above 25 adult and really absorb it. I need to absorb the show. You know what? I'm finally going to get Disney Plus. I'm finally gonna fucking do it. Oh man, no, just I've been put.
I'll give you my.
I've been putting it off.
I'll give you my password. Like, don't do it.
All right, that'll work.
Yeah,
that'll work.
Yeah, don't worry.
Well, I haven't. Look, I was gonna ask on Twitter. Is any of the Disney? No, not Disney. Any of the Marvel or Star Wars shows worth watching? On Disney.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not a Star Wars person, so I couldn't tell you. I watched a little bit of Obi-Wan.
What do you think of it?
I feel like I like Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor as those characters. So like the last bit of it where they had like character stuff was cool, but in the beginning, like the first 4 episodes are kind of awful. Like they're just kind of like it's just really. How many
episodes are there?
There's 6.
And so most of the season is fucking.
Most of it is just kind of like, all right, like it's like there's this really fucking horrific scene where child Leia is like running, like she's like escaping from people who are trying to capture her or something, and she's running through the woods. But this is like 4-year-old Leia, like she's so small. She still runs like the Chucky doll. So it's insane that full-grown aliens and mercenaries can't catch her. Like there's so many.
She gets away.
She leads. Awesome. She leads them on a chase that makes so little sense. It's ridiculous. Like she's running through the woods and she's doing this run that, like the toddler run where they're like their limbs are extruded to the side. She's doing that, and it's really bad. But the last part of it, like the last big, Vader versus Obi-Wan stuff, I think it's actually kind of cool as somebody who doesn't care about Star Wars at all. But it just feels like that show feels like a movie to me. And I know that's not a unique opinion. I think I was watching Red Letter Media and they also feel the same way. Where like it feels like a 6-episode show that was made out of It's like a stretched out movie. If that makes sense.
I see.
Like, it feels like the last 2 episodes are the third act. But it's like, it's too long to be a... I don't know. They just stretch out things for way too long.
It could have just been like a Rogue One type of thing.
Yeah,
I kind of like...
They definitely could... You could edit that movie easily into like 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like, surely. But, anyway. I'm sure Sweeney loves that opinion. Sweeney loves it. He loves everything that's Star Wars. But... And I envy that, sincerely. Like, I wish I had anything that I cared about that much anymore. I don't. Like, it's all gone.
I mean, anything that I like really loved was so long ago. You know, it wasn't. I haven't had anything recent where I'm like, that was so fucking great.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'll be fair. Be fair. I really did enjoy. Yeah, and I know you did too. You really enjoyed Castlevania.
Yeah.
I actually was bummed. It made sense that it's over, but I was also disappointed that it was over.
I was happy that it was over because it was like, yes, you can't fuck this up anymore. It's safe.
Oh, okay.
It's fair enough. It's not. We're not gonna have a Game of Thrones situation where like, oh, it's season 10 and it's or you know what I mean, like oh, it's season 8 or whatever and it sucks. And it just ruins everything that came before it. But like everything that I liked before, like fucking, I don't know, like I can't care about the Halo story anymore. It's all fucked. Like it's fucked up. Like I like the game still, but like that story is just meaningless to me after a certain point. Like it's over. And I think of other things like Dragon Ball that I used to love, and then it's like, oh, here's Dragon Ball Super, and they're still fucking transforming, and I'm just like, oh my god. Please.
They're still. I thought it was done, dude. I thought Super was done, but they're just still doing it.
They're just getting started, man. Akira Toriyama's going to be like 110. Did you see the Mega 64 fucking the Boo Saga in 5 minutes?
No.
They got fucking Hideo Kojima in that video. It's insane. It is like it's at the end when everybody's raising their hands for the spirit bomb and all these like random people, and it's so bizarre because it's like Ethan Klein and Hideo Kojima and like just like a fucking baffling array of people. Jack's Films and probably, I don't know, Joe Biden probably was in it. Although they probably just got footage of him raising his hands to the sky because he didn't understand what the sun was.
What was that? What is this? I don't understand. What this is? Corn Pop? Is this Corn Pop's magic weapon trying to defeat me?
What? Corn Pop's back. He started a fire in the sky, and it comes every day. This fire that he started. We gotta get this shit under wraps. What was that thing he said? Like America can be defined with only one word. Can I
say the hard R? Because is that good? Can I say that?
I want Boogie 2988 and Ralph to fight to the death. I want front row seats.
I would fucking die if I heard the President of the United States announced something so obscure to the vast majority of the world. I need Boogie 2988
That's not even
and Ethan Ralph
to fight to the death,
box each other to death.
It's funny though because it's like that impression of him isn't even accurate anymore because he's aged so much in the last 2 years. Like because now he sounds more like, oh, what are we doing out here? We got Boogie 2949, and we got Ethan Ralph from the Ralph's grocery chain, and they're gonna fight to the death outside of a Denny's. And then he's falling off of bikes. I don't even know, man.
He's fucking doing like bunny hops and like fucking tail whips and shit, and he's like eating. I was like, hey, good effort though. You know, he was on the tailpipe. He was on the pipe. He was on a half pipe, and he kind of botched a trick. But hey, A for effort.
Yeah, it's Joe Biden's pro skater, and it's him on fucking BMX bikes, fucking tumbling. It's a game that's just Joe Biden on a bike. In the whole set, it's just like Tony Hawk, but it's BMX. Except you can't succeed. You can't land a trick. He will always fall.
He always fails, no matter
no matter what. There's no animation for successfully landing a trick, so it's all no matter how well you do.
Like, you fucking successfully grind an entire pool, and then you fucking just fall off your bike right after.
Yeah, you just tumble into the ground. Oh my god!
I'd pay $20 for that game. I'd shoot somebody $20 to like. If they just animate it, even if it's just like PS2 graphics, just whip it up real quick.
Oh yeah,
and make Joe Biden's pro skater.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm sure there's probably like some clever wordplay that you could that I'm not clever enough to think of right now that you could worm in there.
Right, exactly.
You know, but just figure it out, and it'll be.
We sell a lot of copies by having like say like colon Let's Go Brandon or something.
Yeah,
all these people will fucking buy it and shit. Like, oh, this is hilarious, man. He's just making fun of. That's just to own the libs. They'll fucking play this game. It'll be so good.
It's so sad how easy it is to just like milk people for money. You know what I mean? Like in a way that's so insincere. Like, did you see the recent? I mean, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. It's kind of exploded in the last like day or two. But like, there was this dude who got fucking fired from a job because he went into a New York bodega and he was like, I can't find the eggs.
No, what?
he went into a New York bodega and he was like, I don't fucking understand this shit. There's like no food anywhere. It's a food desert. There's just a bunch of these corner stores. I'm looking for where's the Whole Foods, man? And like, it's just like he exuded such douche energy. It's like there's a point where he's like, where's the bread? And his camera literally like pans over the bread. Like but it's not a joke. Like he sincerely is just like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And he's like in the Bronx and he's like, I'm wearing my NAACP shirt so these people vibe with me. And just like fucking just
who is this guy?
I don't know, some fucking guy. But he was like in New York and like basically they reach a bunch of people got like really butthurt about it. And they reached out to like his company and then they fired him. And everybody was treating it like it was like this massive human rights abuse. But like I was just thinking like, first of all, I was already like, you can't find food in a bodega? Like how that's such an easy thing to. Beside that, the fact that he got fired for something so stupid, that to me, like he's gonna be rich in like a month and a half. You know what I mean? Like because he's gonna be like, they fucking canceled me over this, and then like a bunch of people are gonna. You know what I mean? It's so simple. Kyle Rittenhouse has a video game and he killed people. You know what I mean? Like
I just saw that turkey shooter thing.
And I'm not even saying like I don't even like look. Lucky him, they were 2 convicted pedophiles. Like sincerely, like he really lucked out on that. But I don't even care like what you think about that. Like if you agree or disagree, it's like, oh, Kyle Rittenhouse shouldn't have been there, or like, oh, he's an American hero. Like fuck it, I think it's all insane. But the fact that he killed people and he has a video game now, and he's like selling like probably like a ton of copies of it. This guy who got fired for not finding food in a bodega, dude, this guy's gonna be fine. Like this guy is gonna be so fine, it's ridiculous.
He'll be on
he'll be on
whose show will he be on?
I don't know.
Crowder. He'll be on someone's show. He'll be on someone's show.
Absolutely. Like
no. He'll be on Tucker Carlson. Mark my words.
Oh,
he'll be on Tucker Carlson.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's like you went to one of the most crime-ridden shitholes in the world, and they crucified you, didn't they? Why? Why did they do that? and he's gonna be like, well, Tucker, I don't know, but you can find out more about my story at fucking I don't know whatever.org or whatever.com.
Dumbcut.com.
Yeah. And it's just like this, and a bunch of people, like, and I joked about it on Twitter and people got mad at me, but it's just like, dude, this isn't 2015 anymore. Like if I'm a grunt working at a company that very clearly doesn't care about me, by the way, like you should know this by now if you've spent any time working. They don't give a shit about you. They'll fire you for fucking nothing. If this was 2014 or 2015 and this dude lost his job for that, I would be like, what the fuck? That's so stupid. And it is stupid. And I would be genuinely worried for him because that's like such a shitty fucking thing to be fired for. Like he's in the city. It's so expensive. He's fucked. But it's 2022 now, man. Like if I was still working at Sears and I got fired for something as stupid as this, I would be over the fucking moon. Because now it's like, oh, it's big moves time. It's merch time. It's fucking go the circuit time. It's book deal time. It is insane.
Yes.
Like, I have seen it. I was at a library recently with Lacey, and we were just making fun of, like, sometimes we go to Barnes and Nobles and we make fun of some of the books. But, like, there was this book, several books, How I Lost My Platform. Or, like, How I Lost Everything, Cancel Culture, Run Amok. And it's like, you have a book on store shelves that is not censored at all. You're raking it in. You got a book deal? That for a book you didn't, for a book you likely didn't write, let's be real. Like it's insane.
Not.
Like, it's a way different time. And I get that people are still sensitive about this stuff, because I also was like, this is a really dumb reason to get fired. And I was like, this guy's an idiot for not being able to navigate a fucking really small store effectively, but also, like, that's such a dumb reason to get fired from a job. Even with, like, the NAACP fucking thing, which was, like, it's a bit weird, but, like, he seems like a douchebag anyway. Like, it's not like he exuded that kind of energy anyway, so it wouldn't be surprising. It's like when they fired Roseanne because she was Roseanne. You know? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I'm just like, what did you expect? You hired this woman. But,
right.
But even
and that, I just don't. I hear you, man. I don't care nearly as much.
No.
And people who do get quote unquote canceled always end up on top.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's not. I really need people to hear this. It is not a curse. Like, it is not. Like, not. There was a time where it was. There was a time where the infrastructure hadn't been in place to kind of, like, usher these people up, and, like, there was a time where that was true. And maybe it still is true for people who, like, I don't know, rape. You know, like, if you're a rapist or something.
I mean, barely, dude. You know what's
actually,
fucked up?
yeah, kind of.
I've said this a few times in some of my later videos, because I'm just, you know, like, I'm not trying. This is what people, I've always, you know, ironically painted myself as the radical centrist. Doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's that's not even citrism itself. The way that people paint it as, it doesn't exist itself, where people say, oh, there's people that just fence sit. The only people that are actually fence sitting, or they're doing it deliberately for, like, it's a thing that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But everybody always has an opinion on something, and it's going to fall somewhere on the political spectrum.
Right.
So, but my whole thing is, I've always just been like, I just want to hear the arguments first before I make a decision. So I would just call myself a centrist or whatever.
Right.
But it's not like, oh, I'm just I want everybody to get along or something. I don't give a fuck about that bullshit. But
yeah.
my whole thing is, there increasingly, it is so evident that, you know, people on the right will accept damn near anyone, no matter what the fuck they do. And I'm a little jealous, because, God damn, man, like, because I'm like, damn, I need some money, but I have integrity, and I wish I didn't.
No, yeah, I agree.
Because all I had to do, dude. Do you know who Herschel Walker is?
No.
Do you know? Oh my God. Okay, so he is he's a hometown hero in Georgia, football, you know, college guy. He's running for the Senate. He might win. And he is just riddled with CTE. He's just...
Wait, what is that?
He's one of the CTE?
Yeah, what is that?
That's the fucking... It's what you get when you play football, when you're boxing.
Oh.
Basically, it's what O.J. Simpson has, for sure.
Okay,
once, yeah, all those people that they have brain damage. All these NFL stars do crazy stuff. They beat their wives and girlfriends. They end up doing, like, murders and all. Like, it's CTE. This guy is so stupid, if so frighteningly riddled with CTE, and he's being propped. Like, they'll accept anything, and you can do whatever. You can. Admittedly, you can do anything. Oh yeah, you can be like.
There was that Roy. You remember years ago that Roy Moore guy that Trump endorsed, and he was, like, embroiled in this, like, pedophile scandal, which was so ironic because there was, like, you know what I mean? It's like this whole, like, Pizzagate shit, but they were just like, Roy Moore, and it's like, okay. It's all fucking.
Oh yeah,
it's all partisan fucking bullshit. But like, yeah, they will accept anybody, and I think
and that's why like the cancel culture thing doesn't. That thing that everybody like the cancel culture on that side at least doesn't exist on that side, because I will say, people on the left are typically more unforgiving, and I would say
they're fucking annoying.
Right, yeah, and I would say like in some instances it's like really fucked up where it's like, dude, I apologize, I'm trying to move on, and they won't give some people a second chance or whatever. That sucks. But then there's people that rightfully just shouldn't be around, you know, and they'll, you know what I'm saying? And like, I've just noticed that like, if you want to make good money, regardless of what you've done, what has happened, it's like, say there's there's allegations against Elon Musk, for example, that just recently happened.
Right.
And he came out as a Republican right before those allegations came out. Perfect strategy. Because now everybody's saying they're attacking him just because he's conservative. And I'm like,
yeah, it's super smart.
That's fucking awesome, dude. That's awesome.
It's super smart. Like
that's awesome.
It's a really smart move because it's not false. Like there are people who just irrationally hate him for no reason. Because there's a ton of NPCs out there. You know what I mean? They're like on every single possible facet of political thought. It's just like, oh, I heard this once, so I believe this.
Right.
And I see it a lot in every now and then whenever I'll make a very explicitly liberal or progressive post. I'll always check the people who like disagree with it, and it's always like the same people on their feeds where it's like, oh look, what a surprise, the 10th person in a row to disagree with me to retweet Matt Walsh. And it's like, of course, like it's you know, and it's I don't know, it's frustrating.
Have you checked out any of his sorry.
Oh, didn't he do like a kid's book where like didn't he make like a kid's book about like trans stuff? Matt Walsh?
Oh, I think you're right. I think he was trying to counter the whole like the trans or drag people are reading these things, so I want to put like, I think he made his own educational books, or at least the Daily Wire did, or some shit.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of his documentary, What is a Woman? Have you seen any of that?
No, I heard about it, but like I didn't watch it.
I saw a few. Yeah, I don't. I saw a few clips of it though. It's exactly what you expected. It's just not like he's trying to be like he's trying to be like he's being open and stuff. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's just like one of those things where it's so. Here's a really this is really interesting. I love this. So in the trailer of that movie, there shows a 15-year-old boy, I guess, because it used to be a girl, transitioned. Okay. And so topless. Now, as a boy, you can be topless. It's like Elliot Page. There's topless pictures of Elliot Page, right? And like nobody's freaking out because that's just how we are in society. You know, the men show their nipples, no problem. So here's the thing about people like Matt Walsh. He believes that, like, you know, women are women, men are men. So here's the problem with him showing a 15-year-old topless. You believe that 15-year-old is a girl, you know, even though they transition to a boy. So he technically has, he has underage porn or just a topless young girl in the trailer of that fucking movie.
Or what he believes to be.
Exactly.
Right.
And like, if you believe that, then you deliberately put that in your fucking video, son. Or you do respect that this person has transitioned to a boy, and that's why you've included it in there.
Or, counterpoint, he doesn't care as much as people think he does. Look, man, I'll be straight up with you.
He doesn't give a fuck.
I'll be straight up with you. There are people that I've spoken to who push this kind of stuff, and they're like, I don't know, this just fucking works. It just works. Like, it's why I feel so bad for a lot of people who get sucked into it, because they really don't know that the people that they listen to don't care or believe it. Like
they don't care at all about it.
Like, the people that you are funding, they're just like me, but they're scamming you. Like, they just like they're laughing at you. They're just like, look at these fucking psychos but that are just like paying my bills. That like, oh, I got a new house off of these people, and it's smart. Sincerely, like I don't even. I
wish I could do it, man. I'd feel like a piece of shit. I wish I could do it.
I'd feel too bad about it. It's also just not. It's also just not my wheelhouse at all. Like I just want to make stupid videos. Like I don't.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I just kind of want to pay like a quick. It's like I'd rather go the route right now. What I'm aiming towards is a one-hit wonder song.
Yeah,
I want a one-hit wonder, dude. I want like a remember when Superman that hoe of Soulja Boy, like that. I want something that's just it goes so viral, it gets me paid millions of dollars, and then I can just do what I want.
Exactly.
Like it just like I understand this route of doing. It's like did you see that clip of Dennis Prager saying the liberals won't debate us? Like we've tried, we've offered money, we've all like, and I'm like, there's no way this guy believes this. This is like what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's impossible. I've literally seen posts of people being like, I'm progressive, I'll debate you. Like,
I'm available at any time.
Yeah, like I've seen so many of those. The same thing happened with Dave Rubin a while ago, where like, and there was a time where that I believe, maybe it was never true, but there was a time where I did believe that was true, where like Dave Rubin was like, oh, I just want to talk to people, and nobody wants to come on, because I had experienced I had experienced something similar where I would be like, oh, I would talk to people, and then they just be like, no, and I'm like, oh well, all right. Sorry.
Yeah, I think there was definitely some people that maybe they would prefer to have on. Yeah, but there's people like say for example Sam Cedar always is happy to debate anybody, but they don't want that guy. Like, oh, I don't want to that guy's fucking serious business. They just want to have it's like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan wants to have a conversation. He doesn't want to be challenged.
Right.
So I feel like it's the same way.
Which, by the way, I don't even think there's anything wrong with that as long as that's the purpose.
No, there isn't. Like if that's what you want,
show, yeah. But like,
it's his show.
Yeah, but to put it on under the guise of like challenge is insane. Yeah. It's just like, let me go make fun of a bunch of college kids who are fucking stupid, and it's like, yeah, of course. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's fun shit, man. That's
it is funny.
Simpler times too,
dude. Yeah, the thing is, it's like, man, I think about the times. I'm really nostalgic when comedy was just not particularly. Well, there's always politics in comedy. Like, even George Carlin did, like, fucking fantastic abortion jokes in the 90s and all that. There's always been politics in comedy, but, like, I feel like internet comedy specifically, even when there were hints of politics to it, were never this political. Like, do you remember Radical Islam, that meme? Of just, like, the fucking dude in the turban on a skateboard doing, like, some fucking...
Yes.
Like...
Doing a little fucking handstand on the pipe?
Pipe or some shit? Yeah, like, that's a political meme, but no one... was offended by it. I feel like if you made that equivalent meme now, there would be all sorts of there would be like an article about it, or like, you know, people being like, and if there was an article about it, there would be people like, I can't believe they wrote an article about you, man. Let's get you on our fucking network, and we're gonna monetize the shit out of you, and you're gonna sell protein, and it's just like there was an innocence to even the most political shit back in like the early 2010s, late 2000s, and even before that the internet has just fucked up because now everything is monetized. Even like slices of your fucking video games are monetized, and it's gonna keep going as long as there's like a penny to be milked out of something. There will be people to milk it now because that's just where we're at now. Everybody's trying to get the bag because they can't survive without it. And it's so bad. It's so bad now. Inflation's insane. Gas is like more expensive than the fucking minimum wage in some places. And it's like, this is insane. Of course people are trying to fucking screw everybody over. Of course people are willing to pretend to have political positions that they don't have as long as it makes them millions of dollars and keeps them secure. Like, what the fuck? No shit.
I mean, it's just one of those things where you realize, I guess the saddest part is that if education was better, shit like this wouldn't be allowed to happen. Oh, that's kind of like at the end of the day, people are too fucking dumb on average. I don't even
think it's education because again, I don't want to talk about this as if we're like unsusceptible to it. I think I'm susceptible to this stuff, but I'm just aware that it's happening, and I'm aware that I can be.
But I feel like being aware is how you're not susceptible to it.
Right?
You're not. Are Are you offloading your wallet to somebody that you really believe in? That's what I mean.
I guess so. But like, I guess I mean like in the same way that you could watch a TV show that's like, let's say like there's an emotional scene in a TV show and it's like, I'm feeling a little misty eyed from this. I'm aware that it's not real. I'm aware that it's not happening, but it still does what it does. I think it's kind of like that, where it's like being aware doesn't necessarily. You know what it's like, actually? A great example, that dude who was like, I turned myself into a pickle. I'm fucking Pickle Rick. And he like put his shirt over. He did a cornholio fucking thing for some reason, which was not the joke.
Yeah.
And he was like standing on top of that Burger King or McDonald's counter and like freaking out. And he was like, "Nah, man, I was aware that I was being cringe." And it's like, that doesn't do anything. You're still like, you know what I mean?
It's still cringe, bro.
Awareness only. Awareness is like half of it. You know, there's still like the other half of like actually not giving your money to random fucking people to. Yeah. You know,
I mean, look, there's falling for stuff like that, and then there's like cult-like behavior. There's two different lanes.
Right.
It's more of just like, hey, how about stop it at the part where you're constantly giving your money to this person that, like, you know, it's just that. It's just like, I feel like if we were taught, like, say, critical thinking or whatever in schools, if there were certain classes that promoted, like, thinking past just, like, the normal thought that people have, because we all have just normal thoughts, and then there's the extra thought that becomes critical, where you're like, wait, should I be doing this? And I feel like that's the part that we kind of, like, fuck up, like, because I catch myself doing dumb shit all the time, where I'm like, wait, why am I doing this? And then there's, it's a thing where I'm like, okay, I caught myself, good, I'm not going to do this shit anymore. It's kind of like being in a little bit of some of that, the era that we kind of came up in YouTube. There was a lot of hype and there was a lot of stuff going on that I felt some things were more serious than they actually were. Like, say for example, Antifa.
Oh yeah,
the Antifa thing. I felt Antifa was more of it was a bigger deal. I got caught up in it. Antifa's always been Antifa. These stupid, you know, cosplayers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They're annoying. They've always been there. It's the same shit. But I felt something like, I'm like, man, shit's getting worse. Yeah,
it's frustrating to see people just like masked psychos beat a person over the head with a bike lock. You know, it's and then people are like, yeah, you know, of course, yeah, that's like fucking weird. That's like,
yeah.
But and then you look at it, and it's like, oh, this is like maybe like 0.3% of. This is like point. Yeah, that's and it's like, oh, okay, so these are just crazy people, and okay,
right.
There's always going to be there's always going to be a percentage of lunatics. Like the idea that like we can only live in a perfect society if 100% of people are, you know, exactly the same as us, or like, you know, especially with the population being so high. You know, you think about like maybe like even 1% of 300 million is a lot of people. Like, so if 1% of people are crazy, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of people. Especially if you're talking about worldwide. Like, 1% of fucking 8 billion? Fuck. That's not a small... That's not a small amount of people. But, I don't know, man. It's just fucking weird. Anyway. Go ahead and...
feces.
Everybody, if you want to shove a grenade up your vagina and nuke that baby, go ahead.
Yeah,
I support it.
Get it done. You gotta get it done, man, because pretty soon it's shutting down in your area. Yeah, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
If you're 8 months in and you're like, this is cringe, actually.
Because that's what the majority of women want. Yeah, like, never mind.
Everybody loves that. I'm sure women love gaining an insane amount of weight for 8 months, being in pain forever, and then just being like, actually, I don't want to see anything. Actually, you know what? I want this to be for nothing. Actually, like, I want to go through this pain and suffering for no reason.
Yeah, you ever got to the final boss of like Elden Ring or From Software game, and then you just delete your save files?
Yeah.
You just uninstall the game.
It's what you do. It's the common sense. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, it's fucking. That shit's funny as fuck to me, man. I love that.
It is weird that's a con. But then, like, it's so funny too because I'll tweet stuff like that, right? I'll be like, oh, it's it's weird that people think it's. I'll word it exactly like this. It's like it's strange how many people feel like women would just like end a pregnancy in the eighth month, and just be like, fuck this, actually. And then people will be like, I don't think that. And I'm like, okay. What? Like, I don't know what to say because I'm not talking about you then, aren't I? Like, it's such a weird, like, people project themselves onto things that don't include them just to be angry. Yeah. It's such a fucking bizarre thing. It's like, I think people who do this are kind of dumb. Well, it's like, well, I don't do this. Okay. Like, oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah. Like, what are you talking? This, if a criticism doesn't apply to you, don't receive it. Yeah. It's so simple. Yeah. And it's not like you can't be stupid enough to believe that there aren't people out there who think that. Like, I've had conversations with people who genuinely believe a lot of abortions are, like, late term. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, these are real people. These aren't, like, people on the internet. These are people that I've spoken to. You know, especially older people in, like, families and friends' families who sincerely believe that, oh, this is, like, a really common thing, this late-term abortion, and people are, like, really happy to go through it. That's not a straw man. That's not, like, a fake thing. It may be a straw man of you, but if it's a straw man of you, then I'm not talking about you. Right. It is so simple, but I don't know.
I mean, think about, like, to extrapolate on that, think about the amount of people right now think a trans person is automatically a groomer.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's not a stretch to that people think that, there's these massive waves of late term abortions because somebody is telling them that, just like they're telling them that, all these people are pedophiles and groomers and shit. They're just telling them shit with zero evidence.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they just believe it.
Well, the thing is, it's like, well, their evidence will be like one story. And it'll be like, that's what I'm talking about. It'll be the 1% of crazy people. Imagine if we legislated guns based on the 1% of crazy people who have guns. You know what I mean? Like, oh, some kid ran into a fucking Barnes and Noble and shot everyone. You know? And then they're like, we should take guns. It's like, well, you can't take guns away just because some fucking psycho did some fucking crazy shit. And it's like, okay, you're there. You're okay, good. So you're in this space then.
You understand.
Okay, so you understand. So if the overwhelming majority of abortions aren't like Lena Dunham reaching into her like they think it's like Lena Dunham shoving an egg beater up there in the 7th month of pregnancy and being like, it's like that's not how any of this shit went. And then like laughing about it afterwards, like, I had such a good experience, I'm gonna do this again in a year. It's like, this is not the experience of you. I don't know. It's just so exhausting.
It's hard, man. It's hard, but this harps back to what I was saying about being smarter and critical thinking. I feel like so much of this shit would be knocked away if they thought just past that original thought of like, oh, this is happening, and then the critical side of it would be like, is this happening? And then they would just fucking use Google. Yeah. They would use Google. They'd be like, oh wait, this is not happening.
But Google is controlled. But Google is controlled by the libs.
It's by a big lib. Big lib. By big libs. It's Google is controlled and analyticized by big liberal.
Big lib.
You cannot. Big lib is big lib.
I like that. I love big lib. Look, I just want the takeaway. Awesome. I just want the main takeaway from this to just be like fucking calm. If you find yourself, sincerely, like if you find yourself being offended by anything that we're saying, really examine why. Like, does it really apply to you? Think about it. Think about everything that we've talked about today, and like think about like, does this apply to me? And if it doesn't, chances are it doesn't. You know.
Yeah.
Because you're watching this. And if you're watching this by now, you know how we feel about certain things. So like,
right.
So it probably doesn't apply to you. And if it does, maybe think about why we're making fun of you.
Yeah, I would say I would challenge. I've always been this person, and we'll move on after this. I've always been this person that if there was something that I thought was so outrageous to something that I knew, I would look it up. I would be happy. Or even if it wasn't, let me just give an example of, I think in 2007, this documentary called Zeitgeist came out. And the first part of it was kind of like an anti-religious thing, kind of an anti-Judeo-Christian thing. Of course, religious people had a huge problem with it. And so it's like, yeah, obviously. And then a thing came out called Zeitgeist Refuted. And it was supposed to refute all of the points that they made in that first part. I was excited to watch it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Like, I'm really looking forward to hearing like what they're going to counter this stuff to try to strengthen their arguments and stuff. And unfortunately, I was let down because it was just like the Bible's real because the Bible says it's real. And I was like, oh
yeah.
But my whole thing was like, I'm so excited to always find the other arguments. I always want to, whenever I hear about why do people believe this is happening with the late term, but why they think that like women are gleefully trying to just terminate after carrying something for so long that they obviously would want to just be birthed normal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do people believe this? I want to look into it and I want to see who's saying what. And I always find it very fascinating to see what people are saying, not just the people that I like, but like what are people saying? And I feel like I gotta tell you, the amount of times I've been wrong on something and actually feel kind of good that I know better.
Right.
It's nice. It feels good to like, oh fuck, man, I can't believe I believed that. That was stupid. And I feel much better after like I've gotten better information. So
yeah.
I would challenge anyone out there. I'm just saying, if the stuff that we've been talking about and you feel offended in what we were talking about, so I challenge you to like, just go watch a couple of things of some people that you probably normally wouldn't watch. Go watch a little Sam Cedar or something. Go just see what he's saying. Just try it and see what happens.
Right.
You might something will. Your dick might get a little hard. I'm just saying.
It's so funny though because like I remember a lot of these like Matt Walsh and Candace Owens and all these people who were just like jokes to us at a certain point. You know what I mean? Like everybody unanimously agreed, and then suddenly they switch sides, and then it's like, oh, they're great, and it's like, oh my god, how transparent? Well, Matt Walsh didn't switch sides, but you know.
Yeah. Do you know what's fucked up about the Candace Owens thing? So I talked to Joe Rogan about that when she was on the on the show. Yeah. So I DM'd him and I basically was like, dude, like she's obviously a fucking grifter, but you know. And then he laughed about it and he was like, yeah, I think you're right. Like he totally agreed because they had an argument on climate change and it was clear that she was just saying what her side says and she had no idea what the fuck she was talking about. And so Joe caught on to that. And then fast forward years later, now he's like, man, did you see Candace Owens was like dunking on the New York Times or something? I'm like, what the why are you fucking why are you talking as if she fucking has anything of value to say when you agreed years ago that she was a fucking charlatan? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's happening? I'm like, what is happening?
It's very weird.
Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know anymore. I'm like,
anyway,
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, fuck it, whatever, dude. I give up. Like I said, I'm one-hit wondering music. That's how I'm gonna get my bag.
Yeah. Let's
make a pop song. Let's make a pop punk song. I don't care. I want that money, homie. Let's get that bag.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
Well,
we'll figure it out.
We should probably get into some questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Before this runs too long. Guy named Gray wrote in. He says, hello, Chris. Emotionally defeated ray gun. It's about dick. It's about penis. And Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Okay.
The Canadian Prime Minister is sick today. He couldn't join us. I asked you guys on episode 68. Oh, my God. How long ago was that at this point? Timestamp 1 hour 39:55 about bad features in critically successful games. Now I ask the opposite. Great features in bad games. Example... Resident Evil 6 is controversial at best, but it's the first one to let you aim and walk at the same time. I actually didn't know that because I never played Resident Evil 6.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I highly vouch for Leon's arc in Resident Evil 6.
His campaign?
It's so fucking fun. Yeah, it's so fun. because they bring back C virus zombies, which is cool. So like there's like fucking or they don't bring back the C virus, turns them into like old school zombies. And then there's more of them, but now you're more equipped to deal with the zombies as a regular human, which is pretty cool. So you can do these like slides, you can kick the shit out of these motherfuckers, you can back up, but it's still, since there's an overwhelming amount of zombies, it's still very fucking challenging and very hard.
Yeah.
That like I enjoyed the parts of it, like say when you're in the school, the campus or whatever. So like that was awesome. I didn't give a fuck about Wesker's son because I'm just karate chopping zombies and shit. That shit was dumb.
Yeah,
it was fucking stupid. Chris' part just turned into Call of Duty. So yeah, it was literally just you and some weird French guy, and you're just shooting everybody with a bunch of bullets. And I was like, this is like, I feel like I'm playing, I don't know, Army of Two. But Chris' parts was cool. That was not Chris. Sorry,
Leon.
Leon parts was cool. I would say, if you can find Resident Evil 6 for like $3 or something, and I know it's on sale all the time, just play that, and you might have some fun with it. I thought the mechanics were kind of cool. It's still kind of dumb.
Yeah, of course.
How action packed it is, and all the quick time events. It's still a little weird.
It's borderline absurd. Like I've seen clips of it. I forgot that. I've never played it really. Like I think I played a demo. Was there a demo of Resident Evil 6? There must have been.
There must have been.
Yeah, I think I played that, but like, ooh, man,
yeah. I just the last time I played it, I think I played it like 2 years ago. I was playing all the Resident Evils over, and I was laughing my ass off playing Chris's part because it's just so
over the top,
fucking just military. And then you just do these cool, like you can just dive backwards while you're shooting and shit. It's so fucking, it's so crazy. Like they tried, but you know, it just obviously they were like, let's just. It reminded me of Dark Knight Rises.
Right.
It was like let's just do everything that is. There's no ground anymore.
Oh
like,
my god,
we're taking off
that fucking movie, man. That movie upsets me, like, because it's so fucking weird in the context of its own series. Like, it's such a bizarre fucking movie. He nukes the ocean. I fucking can't get over that. But I can't. I don't know if I can think of a bad. Hold on, great features in bad games. The thing is, it's like I don't think most games are bad. You know what I mean? I kind of like most of the things that I play, even when they're not like amazing. So like it's hard for me to distinguish. Like what's the worst game that I've ever fucking played? Or not worst, but like something that's like uniquely bad. Like Anthem was pretty bad, and I can't think of anything good about that.
You know what's interesting about, and I think a lot of people, because of reviewers, YouTubers, podcasters, I don't play most really bad games because I know about them thoroughly.
Yeah.
Like,
that is a good point.
Like games like Deadly Premonition that a lot of people fucking hated, I guess. Like there's some people loved it, but there's other people that just fucking hated it. I've never played it, but I'm sure if I played it, I'd probably have some interesting opinions on it. Or what was that biker move? There's a biker game that everyone fucking
Ride to
hated.
Hell, Ride to Hell Retribution.
Yes. Like I imagine, I never played it because I've read and I've seen all about it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I think I love that you brought up the other one. That the one, but what was the one that you just mentioned? Not Ride to Hell.
Deadly Premonition.
Deadly Premonition. I'm so
fucking David Lynch shit.
Yeah. It's like that game is so. It's weird. It's not good in the traditional sense, but I bet like it feels like it's aged better because like it is not good. But it's so weird that it ends up being like unique enough to recommend. It's like it feels like Yakuza almost, like that kind of thing where it's like, what the fuck am I playing? But it's more like Twin Peaks style fucking absurdity. I wish I could think of like I guess the flying in Anthem was cool, but you know, I don't know. I guess I don't play many bad games now that I think about it. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll say this. Not that it's bad anymore because they've changed it, although it's still Even in its good state, it's not necessarily something that I would play. It's not my style of game. But the fact that No Man's Sky lets you go into the atmosphere and shit, like leave the planet and land on another planet, I think that shit's dope, and I wish it was in more things. Like, I wish Destiny had that. Like, if Destiny had that, I don't think I would ever stop playing Destiny. But it doesn't.
Are you going to play Bethesda's new title? I forgot what it's called.
Starfield?
Yeah. You play that shit?
I mean, it's coming to Game Pass, so yeah. You know, it's
okay.
I figured,
might as well.
Yeah, might as well. It's also just like I am very curious about it because I do like Bethesda games, even though they're jank as fuck. Like, the thing is, it's like, dude, because my friend Joe he finished Horizon, that Horizon game for fucking with Aloy in it.
The new one?
The new one, yeah. And I was watching him play, and the final thing is so linear, and like there's even this point where like they have you fly through the credits on like a robot bird, and it's like it's the camera's positioned as if it's gameplay. Like, it's like, oh, hey, I'm flying my bird, but they don't let you do it. And it's like 20 minutes. Oh. It's like 20 minutes of like, at the very least, give me like the illusion of control. Like, let me at least, even if this is like on rails and I'm going to be flying through credits, at least let me like move around within the screen. Give me something to fucking do, you know? And one thing I appreciate about Bethesda games, even though they're jank and they're overhyped and they're kind of ugly, is that they are truly video games. They're not like, oh, I'm trying to be a movie, or like, oh, I'm trying to be like a cinematic fucking masterpiece. I'm trying to be you know, every frame of this is picture perfect and choreographed and animated to a T. It's like, no, go ahead and blow up Megaton in the first 10 minutes. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead, do it. I dare you. And then you do it and it fucks everything up, and it's awesome. Like, I love that.
Yeah, that is true.
But Kremlin de Gremlin wrote in. He says, do any of you guys have your own Mandela effect / false memories? For some reason, I have this memory back when I was around 8 at a GameStop looking at a game called Crash Bandicoot Unleashed, even though it doesn't exist. I love that. I love this concept of like fake memories because I have so many. And also the idea that like it's easy to kind of fuck with people now. Because I see every now and then I'll see some TikTok or some video on YouTube or like something on Twitter of like some guy like making their own Arthur toy or whatever, and it's like Arthur the Aardvark, and they put like a burglar mask on him, and they give him like a little gas can, and they reprint the packaging perfectly, and it just says arson now with gas can and lighter, and just the idea that somebody could put that on a shelf. Somewhere they're just like, I'm going to bring this into the store, put it on a shelf, and then leave. And then some kid will see that and will think that it's one of these. It's like, oh, a Mandela effect. Like, oh, how funny. What a fake memory. But it's real, and you're just getting fucked with. I love that. That's way easier to do now than it was.
Yeah, right.
So, so chances are this was a fake memory. But I don't know. I see that all the time. Like people like photoshopping box arts of video games and then returning them to the store. Like I've seen a million of these. But I think the one memory that I know for sure isn't real, because it would be insane if it was I remember when I was like 3. And I might have told the story on the podcast or before, but like it was definitely like a long ass time ago. I was like 3 or like maybe 4, definitely not over 4. I was like a wee child, and I was watching some show about space. I think it was Cosmos with Carl Sagan. I think it was that. And I remember just like seeing planet Earth and only kind of half absorbing what that meant. It was like, oh, planet Earth is in the solar system. And, you know, I missed the part where he said, that's our home. Because I just sort of assumed that like that child Chris in that time, I think understood space as if space was space, and then we were at the bottom of space. Like space was everything above the ground. Like we weren't on a planet, we weren't on anything. It was just like there was the bottom, and then there's space. And I remember learning about planet Earth and being like, oh, interesting. And then I looked over to my window to see if I could see it in the night sky, and I did. Like I just imagined it in the sky. I think I probably like photoshopped it in my head like over the moon or something. But I was like, oh look, it's planet Earth. There it is. Wow, crazy. And then I just went about my night. Like I didn't tell anybody about it because I was like, oh well, it's on TV. Everybody knows this. And then I learned like way later. It wasn't like a revelation or anything, but I realized like I remember seeing Earth in the sky when I was like 3, and it made no fucking sense.
I don't think I have anything that crazy or anything. It's always just little small things. I just misremember things, and even though I swear I'm like, oh, it was definitely this way. Just even little things where I remember I bought the Black Dahlia Murders second album, and the second song on there, it's called "I'm Charming," but I swear that I'm like, did they fuck up and do reprints? Because I thought it said "I'm charging," like it was charging and not charming. But like I vividly remember, like it says charging, and then people would say I'm charming, and I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Being very confused, and my brain just really just made it that. And that this was 2005. Fast forward to I think 2020 or something, and this band, fuck's their name, Periphery. They released an album called Hail Sagan, and it's just because Carl Sagan died or something. It was just like a homage or whatever. And for some fucking reason, until my friends pointed out, I thought it actually said Hail Satan. And I was like, that's weird. I'm like, is this a fucking Satanist album? I was like, they're not like into that shit. I was like, this is so weird. And then I mentioned it, and I was like, have you guys listened to their new album, Hail Satan? And one of my boys looked at me and was like, you mean Sagan? And then I was like fucking embarrassed. Because like I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, it says Sagan. But like my brain the entire time, it said Satan. But it clearly doesn't say that. Like it happens to me every once in a while, and then it's just that's my brain, and I that's what it is, and then I don't know how it does that.
Yeah,
like it doesn't. It's clear as day what it says, and my brain will just change it, I guess, for fucking whatever reason. It's so weird.
So I'm just checking Twitter real quick. Anime Expo is happening right now, and apparently, the LAPD and the fire marshal are no longer letting people in.
Was it too many fat, greasy people in there?
It's too many people. This is the biggest crowd I think I've ever seen post pandemic. Like, this is crazy. This is going to be a big fucking problem. But
it's going to be a lot of COVID.
Oh man. Well, actually, it might not be because it's anime people.
What does that mean?
They're not going to.
What does that mean?
It means they're not going to spread it after this because they're not going to be seeing anyone.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm sorry, that was such a cheap shot. But all right, let's see. Mexidankus Sanchez wrote, and he says, "Hey, Sween, Blackman, and Mr. Gunn. With a lot of terrible YouTubers getting shows or movies, if you could choose one of your favorite YouTubers, or it could be yourselves if you want to get a show or movie, who would it be? Ralph." Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph. I need Ethan Ralph to have a talk show where he interviews genuine celebrities, and he asks every one of them to say slurs with him, and then they leave, and then he never gets a repeat guest. Like I need that to happen.
I'll back that up, dude.
Yeah,
I'll back that up. I need that shit too.
I don't think there is a more perfect person with which to be. I don't actually know. Like, is that happening a lot now? Like, people getting their own shows. I feel like the only person that I could think of is Zach with Smiling Friends. Like, I don't know if anything. I know the Annoying Orange had a show like a decade ago, but that's.
I think it's pretty rare. And for a good thing, right? Because a lot of people just aren't. They're just not. They don't have it. Like I don't want. There's a lot of people where I'm like, oh, they're really entertaining, they're really cool, but I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing, but like, there's some people like watching Zach and watching Michael shit, where I'm like, this makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm like, this makes sense. They're born to do this shit. Ethan Ralph, though, he can transition to anything that he fucking wants to do. This man he's born. He just doesn't, man. He can't help himself. Like, he just keeps going. He went to some of the protests when the people were out protesting Roe v. Wade, it being overturned.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, and he does like the in real life streaming, like, pretty much it's only reserved for like sad, pathetic people. Like the worst people on earth do that fucking streaming. And then so he's there, and then there's just women just shitting all over him. It's so great. It's just, they're just talking about how gross he is, and that just everything. He's just getting humiliated, but I don't think he knows what that means anymore.
He's
there's so much.
Have you ever seen Windy City Heat?
I haven't. That sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it.
It describes him perfectly, I feel like, because he's this guy who just thinks that he's more famous in a positive way than he is. It's just like everybody clowns on him. He's a joke, but not to him. Like, he's not a joke to him. And
he's right.
Windy City Heat is a wild movie. That has like fucking. It's just all these celebrities playing pranks on this fucking nobody who thinks he's amazing. Like it's got like Tom Kenny's in it for some reason. Fucking I think Jimmy Kimmel back in like early 2000s is in it, and they all just like they orchestrate this whole thing of just like we're going to set this guy who thinks he's amazing up with like all of these fake opportunities, and he's going to progress through like, oh, it's like you got the job working for fucking this show or whatever, and it's all fake. They orchestrate the whole fucking thing, and it's
almost like that Truman shit.
Yeah, but yes, but it's so difficult to. It's like if the Truman Show and Impractical Jokers was the same thing. Like it's like they just fuck with this guy so much. Almost like how I feel like that Andy Milonakis treated that Ralphie guy. Do you remember that guy? That fucking Like who the fuck is that? And what happened to Ralphie? But I don't know. I would say Ralph. I would say Ethan Ralph. All right, let's see. Let's see. What is this?
Sorry, not beautiful. Sorry, not beautiful.
I like my women lobster thin. SpongeBob
giant fake titties in my fucking face.
I like my women half plastic and half dead. SpongeBob Square Tits wrote in, says, "You goblins missed my question last time, so I'll repeat. Would you rather cum shit or shit cum?" I guess
I'll shit cum all day.
I guess I'd rather shit cum. Yeah, like cumming shit sounds really awful.
Imagine blowing a load in a chick. Like that's like
shit. Oh my god, that is so heinous. That would make. She wouldn't even be able to kill me because I would have done it already.
Right.
Yeah. My God.
So, like, I guess it would only make sense to have anal sex. You just cum shit in her ass.
Oh my God. Come here. I gotta cum shit in your ass. That's so fucking gross. That might be the grossest thing I've ever envisioned.
Yeah. You get... God, it's a pretty.
Wasn't that literally like a South Park thing? The fecal transplants.
What?
Where they would like surgically put other people's shit in people's assholes because it helped them stay young.
I have not seen that.
It's more of a modern. It's not like in the last 5 years, but definitely in the last like 8. I think that was yeah. Hold on, let me look it up just to make sure I'm not.
I haven't seen it. I've missed like a lot of that shit. So
fecal transplant South Park season 23 episode 8. Yeah.
I never heard of
so that. I thought
interesting.
So this is a fun story. I thought that was a South Park joke, right? And because it's on South Park, and I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. It's funny. Like it's like like Mr. It's just absurd shit.
Right.
Pardon the pun. But it's real.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a real fucking thing. Like fecal transplants are not a South Park joke. That is not something that exists purely in the realm of South Park. This is a real thing that does in fact happen.
Like people are transferring shit?
Yeah, hold on.
To each other?
Fecal transplant. A fecal transplant. Oh my God. WebMD is all right. So this is like not the most reputable source, but it is real. A fecal transplant is a procedure that takes the stool of a healthy person into the colon of someone who's ill. Your doctor may call it bacteriotherapy. who needs a fecal transplant? Fecal transplant is used to treat a severe bacterial infection called C. or difficile. So it's real.
I see, and I imagine. So are they? So, because I imagine they're not just grabbing someone's shit out of their ass and shoving it in somebody else's ass.
I mean, that's definitely how they do it. That's definitely what other way would you do? You know what I mean? Like, because you're not gonna you're not gonna be like, open me up, doc. Like,
look, I've seen. Look.
Maybe they just have. Maybe what it is that they take the healthy people and they sand their butt cheeks away, so that their asshole is flush.
So yeah, they don't have fucking ass cheeks.
Yeah. So
like a fucking dog, like a fucking dog,
like a
cat.
Yeah, like a cat or like Gumby or something. And they just and they just shit directly into the asshole.
Yeah, they join the assholes together. They dock. Their assholes.
They dock assholes.
Yes. Directly. Yeah, and then they shit directly.
I lost my shit. I lost my shit. No joke intended. But like, I lost my mind when I saw this. When I learned that this was real and not a South Park joke.
Look, I've seen people trying to get see, look, this is what I think, because I'm looking at pictures. This is exactly what I was thinking. Like capsules, they swallow shit capsules, and then that's what it is. But then I'm seeing, oh, okay, I'm out of here. Dude.
Yeah, get out of there. You don't want to spend a lot of time. I'm just seeing
liquid shit in syringes.
Oh my god, that's so bad. Can you imagine getting diarrhea implanted in you on purpose? That is so fucking crazy.
Intravenously, like you get a fucking IV of shit. You get diarrhea in your fucking veins.
It's me, diarrhea veins. Oh my god!
It's what keeps me youthful, man.
There's diarrhea literally pulsing through my heart. That's so.
You never know. You might live forever. You never know.
Wolf 13 in Roman numerals wrote in. He says, "Greetings to the glorious high kings of melanin and their court jester. Did you know that elephants have prehensile penises, meaning they can move them like monkey tails?"
That's awesome.
I did not know that, and I also don't know if I believe it. I think I might have to look at a video of this to really.
Do you really have to see a video of that?
Elephant penis.
You're really interested in seeing elephant cock swinging around like crazy?
If it can wrap around someone's fucking face like that, like a monkey tail.
That'd be pretty cool.
An elephant's penis acts like a second trunk. Oh, that's so awful.
That's fucking dope.
So they can drink through it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they...
Wait, do they drink through their... Wait a minute, what is a trunk exactly? Now I think about it.
They can suck up... I mean, it's their nose. It's just... You can... Just like technically... You can suck water through your nose and into the back of your throat. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, but you would probably die doing that, like, consistently.
It would, if you were bad at it. But if you, it's like I've mastered like the neti pots and all that shit. You know?
Oh, I can't do that shit. I can't do it. I feel like I'm killing myself when I do that. Like, it feels like a suicide attempt.
You gotta master it, man. Like, you just get it. Like, I have to do it every once in a while because my fucking sinuses are so shit.
Yeah.
So it's fucking, and I feel honestly like a new person once I do it.
What would you do?
It's like,
I believe that. It looks incredibly satisfying, but
yeah.
What would you do if you did that? You tilted your head to the side, you put the neti pot, and then like a big literal piece of shit came out.
A piece of shit. I'd have so many questions. I'd have so many questions. Like, how did this get here?
Would you sell it to a doctor?
Why did I not smell it? I would sell it to TMZ.
Yeah,
I would give it to.
This is the first nasal shit.
And that is just how it got there. How did I not smell it? How is it that big? There's so many questions.
Yeah.
And
okay,
yeah, I'm here for it.
Well,
I'm here for it.
The computer that I was reading questions on just shut down, and the charge. I guess the charger wasn't plugged in. Whoops. So I guess that is going to be it for us today. But I'll open the Google Doc on my phone because we have to. Where the fuck is it? There it is. So, yeah, if you guys... update, you fool. If you guys like what you heard here today... I don't know how you could have. I don't even know what the fuck we talked about. Consider supporting us over at patreon.com/SnarkTank. $1 a month gets you early access to every episode and access to bonus solo episodes. And $5 gets you your questions read on the show. $10 gets you access to our Discord server. That's one payment in, you're in for good. And $25 gets your name dyslexically read at the end of the show, which,
Wait. One thing I gotta say, because of the...
Keep talking.
Technical difficulty. Okay. Because of the technical difficulties that we've had, I missed another podcast before. I don't even remember why. Before that, and then I had Corona this time. We were supposed to put out that I need
your solo episode,
fresh solo questions.
Oh yeah.
I wanted fresh questions from the audience.
We'll post a. I think I did already. I'm not sure. I have to check. But
did you?
Maybe. I remember I typed one up, but I might not have posted it. But there, we'll if that thread doesn't already exist, it'll be up today of just solo questions that you guys can ask Derek, and he'll bang it out. And then it's Sweeney at the end of the month. We'll just stick with the fact that it's whatever. We were late this time. No big deal. No reason to delay. But I have to log into the Patreon on Sweeney's computer, and there's a lot of porn here. So,
is there really?
It just doesn't stop. So,
what kind of porn? Expose them.
Lot of animals. Lots of animals. Surprisingly few people. I think
a lot of elephants with the amazing control of their fucking of their tail penises.
Yeah, it's elephants. Fucking corpses at funerals with their trunks. That's all it is. Strange. Anyway, I'm gonna read these names now. Your Noble Truths. Joker Goofy says you get what you fucking deserve, Maxie. I'll make my own Snark tank with blackjack and hookers. The Fast and the Morbius Tokyo Dick. Fuck traveling overseas. I'm traveling into her ovaries. Mojave Scribe. SpongeBob Square Tits. Elsie Bray's Pyramid Scheme. Nancy Pelosi killing a Palestinian with her massive tits. Dom.
Yep.
Get a fucking beer glass. It's Viagra Falls in this bitch. Fresh Fecal Fiesta. Dom. Fresh Fecal Fiesta. It is really hot in this room. Obi Won't You Blow Me. A fucking prawn. Glasses are just real-life FOV sliders. Zach Cool Number. Chris, I'm that blonde guy with the chode you met at that Scottish gay bar in Brooklyn. XOXO, that guy at the bar. Joke's on you, my friend.
Interesting.
I don't go to Brooklyn. Nice try. If you would have said Queens, it's possible. Your favorite Martian is back. Tevin DeBlack, Kremlin de Gremlin, Binkus Stinkus, George Hart R. Martin, the person whose name is impossible to read again. Mitch McConnell's Tortoise Shell, Saint Maxi, from the makers of They Them Pussy, it's They Them Come. Allsta Wall, you said it right. Mega Man X8 guy, and the lack of anything funny to say this time. Avi, and as always, rounding out our list, the king of haphazard. I became a patron and spent $25 not to be able to come up with a clever name. Wage Slay 583. What if JFK's head just did that? I feel gay. Fuck you. Chris letting out a long why, followed by a series of why nots after learning Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn in the Joker 2. If that's real.
Lady Gay, yeah.
Dead Inside, the Papini Brothers Emporium of Bullet-Filled Uncles, Shrinkus Funkledunk, the Warlock who is using transversive steps, and $25 gets your name dyslexic read at the end of the show, which I will now do. I have PPSD, Ryber525, and the sudden mystery and the sudden uptick in tomboy appreciation. I ate sidewalk chalk and cat food, and I ain't afraid of no poo-poo hands touching my milk. Fun fact, the TLC channel was made in 1972 by NASA and now has educational programming geared towards retards. Have a nice day. Tell him Steve, Dave.
100% true.
Yeah. Antiphus Maximus, wielder of the enchanted bike lock. God is dead because Amber Heard shat in his bed. John Strickland, Mr. Rogers shows you around his crib, but he's not your neighbor. Merck's 1889, Downey McFrowny. If I had a nickel for every time Chris was on a podcast talking if alien fucking was bestiality, I'd have 2 entire nickels. I was recently mentioned by name in a suicide note. KD ratio is officially over 1 now. Yeet. The first church of Keith David. 'Tis the season to be gay. I want Tarantino to write a Star Trek movie where Samuel L. Jackson is God and Kirk has to fight him to the death. Drunken Doulahan. Pre-Roz. Ain't that a kick in the dick?
Hold that.
Blake 896. Hey boss, who wants Sween to know that his taste in movies is bad and Shang-Chi was mid as fuck? Ryan Lucchesi, Sloshy Scout, Inside We Both Know What's Been Going On, parentheses going on. We know the game and we're going to play it. Oh my god. That's fucking that's never going to give you up. Depraved McBooty.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, God. Depraved McBooty, Warrior, Baba da Baba Booty, Hard Hat Skydiver, Alaskan Oilfield Trash, Marcus Shorten, the Green Goblin gobbling up Gary's Gygash? I don't know. Game Controller 25. My friend hates your take on Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Please apologize to him because he keeps bringing it up. No, it was ugly. Lobotomized Jesus and his merry band of finger nuggets. I can't read this shit. But he ends it with feed somebody forks and they fuck toasters. The only stick I touch while driving is my penis, parentheses, I masturbate while driving. Wasn't an escalation, but a brief moment of levitation. Sweeney's clown pussy goes honk honk. Yummy, 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 come inside my tummy. Jackson, Absage, Badly Brave, Hugger Dark, the movie theater manager, Aetherian, Melphus 1, Warlock, Hexblade, Supremacist, who recently achieved Lichdom, Richter 86. And, at the end, as always, the King of Haphazard. The King.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Oh, by the way, guys, Spider-Man 2 is officially an adult. Yesterday, Spider-Man 2 turned 18.
Really?
So,
oh my god, that's insane. Fuck me.
It's weird when you think about that shit, right?
I remember seeing that in theaters. It's getting really uncomfortable.
It's weird. I was like, dude, and I was like, fucking Spider-Man, the first one. I was like, holy fuck. Like, I can't believe how long it's been.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like it, man.
I hate being at an age when I can say 20 years ago I did this. It's really uncomfortable. But anyway, that's going to be it. We'll catch you on the flip side. Remember, if you want to get on that solo episode, go to the Patreon and ask those questions. We'll put a thread up immediately after this is done recording. And peace.